I'll tell you what, he's got a lot more in his neck than I think a lot of people realize.
Yeah, right.
You know, he's a great competitor. I mean, I think we've seen that throughout the playoffs. You know, you look at how excited he got in Tampa and talking about stealing people's souls. And, you know, I think, you know, he's got such a great even-keeled demeanor when he's talking to the media.
Oh, yeah, mofos. That's right. It's What the Happened Wednesday, and I got a lot of shit in my neck that I need to get out there into the public, okay? That's right. Paulie Burmeister's here. What's up, man? Good to see you. Man. It's been a while.
I know.
He's cheating on his Olympic coverage right now with a blonde football analyst. But it's probably a good change-up. You're probably ready.
My accepted girlfriend outside of the Olympic coverage, if
Thank
I
you.
can say that.
Thanks a lot.
One more Nordic combined event to go.
Okay. One more to go. And then are you done with your Olympic duties after that? Okay, so you did it. You made it.
Almost there.
Been living like a vampire for the last 2 weeks. Like, what are the hours we're talking right now for your life?
Tomorrow we're on the air at 3 a.m. live.
Right.
So we'll huddle up here at about 1:15. So once you get here, it's like it feels somewhat normal.
Yeah, right.
It's the setting the alarm for 12:15 and like going to bed at 6. That's the weird part.
Did you do this night? Did you do it last night? Were you up last night?
No. Yesterday was an off day.
Okay, good. I would have felt bad. I was like, damn, they made you come into the podcast after doing the.
It actually worked out pretty well.
I still would have been like, fuck you, get here, but I would have felt bad.
Anyway. Yeah. It's been okay. The Summer Olympics are a lot more. There's a lot more going on every single day and night.
Right.
Winter has been a little bit more like there's an off day.
You can catch your breath here and there. Yeah, right.
And we had the Super Bowl in there, so it's been all good.
All right, cool. I know I'm a little off with the Olympics this year, just because of course I was out at the Super Bowl week, busy week out there, a lot of fun. LA,
13 days.
13 days I was out there. It was a lot of fun.
Best thing outside of football.
Best thing outside of football. Well, gosh, the stadium was amazing.
Yeah, it looks like.
All right, so that's hard to argue with, just as far as that's concerned. The weather, and the weed's legal. I was literally sitting outside of hotels or restaurants going, wait, I'm just smoking in front of the hotel or the restaurant here, and it's legal.
Did you do it in the morning?
No, I don't. I'm not a wake and bake guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. And especially when I have work. Like, I can't be high in work. It doesn't work for me.
Dinner time.
No, so as soon as my day's over,
Yeah.
right, and I go, okay, whatever, dinner time, that's when I did it. I had no family out there for a number of days. They came out, so
Yeah.
So I was, lots of Daddy Cigars, certainly. That was the best part. It felt weird, though. It feels weird in a place where you're legal.
Yeah.
Like, I went to some high-end, like, Beverly Hills, Hollywood restaurants with some friends that I like early in the week.
Yeah.
And sitting outside of the restaurant smoking a Daddy cigar, you're like, you still look over your shoulder like, wait, should I do this? But
it's okay.
Yeah, my California friends are always like, dude, nobody cares.
Right.
Relax. Yeah.
I thought you were living the life Super Bowl Sunday on the Santa Monica Pier.
Pretty damn cool.
You were living the life to a higher degree, no pun intended, leading up to Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that was a higher life.
Done.
Super Bowl Sunday was really cool, though. To start off on the pier in Santa Monica, with my best buddy, Maria Taylor, and then, not only to talk the game, my L.A. Super Bowl life started, in L.A., I should say. My dad won his Super Bowl in L.A., Pasadena.
22 out of 25.
So to be there 35 years later and covering it was very cool for me.
Yeah.
Got to do a segment with, the Bella twins and Terry Crews, Nikki Bella and Terry Crews, movie Hollywood stars.
Not bad.
That was cool. Nikki Bella let me be in one of her TikTok.
What you doing it?
Like the Diplo challenge or whatever, something like Diplo challenge. Right. Be careful. You don't want to blow out a hip or anything. You're 50. Yeah.
Exactly.
I did. I was worried about it. I don't know. Look at Nikki Bella's TikTok.
Okay.
We could look at it later.
Were you
okay.
like a prop, or you actually did something?
I know. We actually did. Like, you dip low. Like, you act like you're in a conversation, and all of a sudden it's just like, what? And you turn around and everybody dips.
I saw Johnny and Tara doing this.
So this is a thing on TikTok. I knew about it a little bit, but they were making it, and I was like, okay, sure. I mean, what? I'm not going to say no to Nikki Bella and Terry Crews. I'm in. Let's do it.
I've seen the game 5 times.
Right.
So I'm ready to hang out.
Ready to go?
Chat ball.
Let's talk some ball.
Let's get right to it. We're getting right into football.
Right.
We're not saving the best for last
right.
week. Okay. This is from @Wolfman182.
What up?
Did you get to share Daddy Cigar with Snoop?
Damn no.
Why?
Damn no. I wish I never got to see Snoop. It hurt me.
Yeah.
And especially when I saw, I see the little video of him taking some puffs before the halftime show. Like, and first off, all the loser nerds in the world that are trying to make a big deal about that, like, first off, it's legal, once again. Second off, like, f*** off. In this world, this is what you're worried about. I can name 500,000 things that were worse this year that happened that people don't get and don't care about. But that's what they were going to be worried about. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. It was interesting. Even in the stadium in the pregame, you could smell weed around. You definitely could. But, yeah, I wish I would have cut it. I do feel like Snoop knows me, not only because of the Peacock show this year where he was involved, but I did hook up Snoop with some weed once.
How so?
Back in the day, right? So I didn't intend to go down this wormhole here. But, yeah. So I was living, I had just retired.
I don't picture him as a guy who needs a hookup.
Well, sometimes when you leave the state of California, you got to know some people. So this is where it went. So I was in Tennessee. I was my first year out of football. One of my good friends in Nashville was Pac-Man Jones' best buddy, right? Lil Chris is what we called him. So I'm Big Chris. That's Lil Chris. Lil Chris is my man. He would come over, on the weekends. We'd watch college football, smoke some weed, whatever. That's what we did together. Right. But of course, Pac-Man Jones he's a legend. Knows a lot of people in the hip hop world, whatever. Knows all those type of people. And I guess Snoop was in at the time Knoxville, Tennessee, right? And he couldn't find any. So they called this little Chris, and I knew a few people in Nashville and in Knoxville that I could get it done and got it delivered for Snoop, free of charge.
You hooked up Snoop with weed.
I hooked up Snoop with weed.
That is a mic drop weed kind of situation.
Hey, tune in next year to Chris Sims Unbuttoned. I'm out of here. Yes.
He used to come to NFL Network. He grew up with Willie McGinnis, who I used to work with.
Yeah,
there.
right.
And Snoop would come in, and you knew he was there because you could
smell it. Right.
Yeah. But he knew everybody. He watches all things.
He loves
TV.
football, and he loves
knew
football.
All of us, all of us were like, "Whoa, he knows who I am."
Right.
But he's way into it.
He is. He's a real fan, and of course, he does great things with the youth football league there in Southern California and those kids. I mean, Snoop's a pretty freaking cool dude. You say what you want.
Well, that might be the best story of the entire.
Well, Super Bowl's better. We got more stories.
Football opinions to come.
Yeah.
So as for the actual game, let's begin with Rams offense rolling early. OBJ was a big part of what they were doing. At Diego, 331-01924. Lots of numbers. How close would the game have been if Odell stayed healthy? Love the pod. Would like to see more film breakdown.
It's a good question. Because when Odell was in the game, they were rolling.
13-3.
13-3, right. It got into 13-10. They had the ball again and were kind of moving on the drive where he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Right? Convert a 3rd and 9, I believe, the play after he got hurt. It's hard to tell. But what I would say with Odell on the field, it posed real problems for the Cincinnati Bengals football team.
What were they able to do post-Odell injury that they weren't able to do before?
I think the big thing is where they got emboldened to go, wait, now all we got to worry about is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And there's no real game breaker on the other side of the football field. So it emboldened them to play a little bit more aggressive man-to-man coverages. I think that would be the one thing that jumps out to me more than anything. Right. I mean, really, I go through the second half and I go, man, almost on all plays where the Bengals played man-to-man in the second half or post-Odell, they won it. The zone plays, the Rams won.
Yeah.
And that's something I think that, looking back at the game where I go, and we'll break some of it down, where I think Lou Anarumo, defensive coordinator for the Bengals, I got a ton of respect for. Great job. I would bet you that's one where he watches the film back and goes, man, I wish I would have played a little bit more man-to-man, especially on that last drive. Because, again, where Odell is special for that offense, first off, it's hard to play man-to-man because he's a game breaker. Yeah. Just like we saw early in the game. 2 catches, 52 yards. It was man-to-man. Let's do it. Right.
So this is the touchdown, and he's lined up there. 3 receivers to the right of Stafford, ball in the left hash, and Odell is the inside. He's a slot guy of those trips.
Slot guy. Mike Hilton's on him. Mike Hilton is an awesome nickel corner. Awesome. He is. This is a tough spot to be in. And on this play here, what I want everybody to peep, too, is the 2 defensive ends drop out. So there's going to be, it's man across the board, but you're going to have 2 free defensive ends kind of hovering in the middle there, as you see, right around the hashes, right? And right here, the first thing, and if Matt, you could rewind it just a little bit again to go back, is why the first thing I would say, man-to-man, tough job for Hilton. But the second thing is, with the call itself and him knowing that defensive end, Hendrickson and Hubbard, are going to drop out there, you don't need to play the aggressive inside fake so hard. That's where maybe Mike Hilton messes up here, either way. But you're on an island on a 3rd receiver of the slot, and he's got all that room, and it's Odell Beckham Jr. who runs 4-3. I don't care who you are. That's a really tough position, and that was some of the problems here. They want to they're playing man because they're going, man, let's just try to take away some system play here from the Rams so McVay doesn't come up with some play that just carves up our zone defense. So they're going to play man and make them make a throw or do something and have 2 extra guys in the middle to protect, but they called the right play. They know it's man. This play was specifically called for this coverage. We've seen them do that before this year. Yep. They did it in the 49ers game. I believe they ran the same similar play in the Cardinals game. A little bit more from a bunch set where it's different. This is a true empty trips right here. But right here, once Odell kind of gets even as he goes vertical, it's over. And he creates just enough space to where, Matt Stafford can put it out there, and Odell's hands in these situations, they're as tough and as strong as any hands in the history of football, and he rips it out of the air to get the touchdown.
Here's my question about this. I know you said Hilton's a good player.
Yeah.
I know he is as well.
Yeah.
But at this point of the season, this route is not a surprise.
Yeah.
Trips, the outside 2 guys run some kind of in-cutting to clear it out there.
Sure.
They basically run a fade with a lot of field to work with.
Right.
So about 10 yards into this, how come something doesn't click in his head where he says, okay, he's not running a comeback here. He's running this basic fade.
Right.
Why don't they get their head around?
Well, because they're a team that plays the old opposite way we talk about. They don't play the ball. They like to play the receiver and knock it out of the hands that way.
At the end of the game, too.
That's part of what they do, and not all teams teach it that way. So it's a tough spot to be in, like we talked about. You're right. This is a play, and the Rams, like to your point, have done this a lot.
Yeah.
But the big thing is I think they hit it with a little bit of the formation use, and then, like I said, Mike Hilton didn't need to go from the Odell inside fake, knowing, hey, I got a guy in there that I don't have to be all over in case he runs a slant route. I'll have a little bit of a leeway because somebody will be there to protect so I can get back into play. He let him get that outside release, and then that was tough sledding from that point on. But it emphasizes the point again of here when Odell, where McVay is special is he more times than not dials up the play in the scheme for Kupp, and then makes Odell the second guy in the read where not if it's zone, sure, Odell's smart and he knows where to sit in the zone or run the route the right way. Yeah. But if it's man and some sort of bracket coverage on Kupp within the scheme on the front side, then he goes, well, then Odell, our number 2 read, is going to be man-to-man, and we like him man-to-man against anybody on the planet. Right. And that was taken away from them to where, oh, no, we got that issue, and now – okay, the Bengals said, whoa, we'll double Cooper Kupp, and we're not so scared about the other guy, and we'll get all over him. And what the Rams tried to do a little bit to turn that is they tried to put Squarnick in Cooper Kupp's position and make Cooper Kupp Odell a little bit, which one of the last big catches on the last drive is really he's kind of playing the Odell position, but I think they were thinking, like, let's let the play get Squarnick open, and Cooper, you got to get open a little bit. And of course, it worked out really well for Cooper Kupp still.
It wasn't very long that he was in the game.
No.
There's another key play, the touchdown to Cooper Kupp, where Odell was playing a part as well.
Sure.
Let's take a look at that. So this is first quarter. This is a second quarter touchdown here to Kupp.
Yeah, first quarter, and it's going to be they ran the ball the play before, and they ran a play where Stafford and the running back are going to run the same exact action as the play before. So the Bengals have just seen it. It's fresh in their mind, and here they are play again, and they're seeing the quarterback and the blocking and the line and the running back all go in a direction going, wait, we just saw this. Right. So they react a little hard. What I want to tell everybody here first off is, this is a tough play. This is great play design. I know everybody in the world wants to jump on Eli Apple right now. I get that. And it looks like Eli Apple gets burned here. But what I would tell you is he's in a really tough situation first off. And we can rewind it just back to the snap a little bit, Matt. First off, within this run game and how this looks, they run the ball out of these sets a lot, and Cooper Kupp blocks down. And you can see on here, it looks like pause it right there, just as he kind of comes off the line of scrimmage looking like he's going to block.
This isn't him as much as it's a safety.
No, it's a safety. I don't know if this is quarters or a cover 3 look. I think it's a quarters, really, but Bates is being aggressive because he's allowed to in quarters. But here's the problem is Hilton is responsible for the gap in between the tight end and Cooper Kupp. Eli Apple is going to be responsible for the gap outside of Cooper Kupp. So he has a run effect here. See, and so he was worried about, wait, Cooper Kupp, I've seen this on film. He blocks down, and they run the inside zone cutback, and my guy could end up, the running back, and coming back out to my lane. I got to be the edge setter a little bit. So they make it look like a play they run quite often. And then within that, when he sees Cooper Kupp release inside, I think he's blocking in the run game, and he sees the run action fake, watch Eli Apple on the top right of the screen. See, he's watching run action fake. He knows he's got that outside gap. He's worried right now that Cooper Kupp's going to block Hilton down, and there'll be nobody there for the cutback lane. You know, does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Right? Look to the right side. The way it looks right now, it looks like if Henderson catches the ball and gets the ball after the handoff and runs right, that he's going to have an alley cutback lane to the right? So Eli Apple just let the tape roll a little bit. You could see he's a little too caught up, and now he realizes, oh, shit, Cooper Kupp didn't block. He continued downfield and got behind me. So what I want to say is that was the perfect play call for that defense.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens. Stop everybody looking for a scapegoat to blame one person. You know, it's actually the same exact coverage when the Rams let up the Joe Mixon halfback pass touchdown. It's the same thing. There's a corner responsible for the outside gap. So he's coming down going, wait, Joe Mixon's running out here. I got to respect that. And then a guy goes inside and sneaks out behind him. Tough play, great play call by McVay, great throw by Stafford. And one other thing. Hey, can we rewind this? I want everybody to watch OBJ on the backside. See, to me, this is why OBJ is awesome. Watch OBJ realize he's covered and point to Cooper Kupp to be like, hey, throw it to him. Don't look at me. Watch this right now. Watch it. Right after this, right here, he's going to start pointing to Stafford, pointing. See the left arm's in the air there? He's pointing, let it go. He's pointing like, throw it to him. He's open. And then they do their little shimmy. I just wanted to give Odell some respect because he's not the jerk people have tried to say he is. And that team loves him, and I feel bad for him that he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Awful moment. Thinking about the word respect and that play right there, clearly the Bengals had a lot of respect for him because there were two safeties that were in his area. At least one of them could have been bailing out to help on Kupp. Because Apple looked like he was chasing him like it was his man. It wasn't. To me, one of those two safeties could have been back there easier than
probably,
Apple.
yeah.
They were both concerned
the crossing
OBJ.
route, right?
They probably wouldn't have been as concerned if it was Skoranek later.
Probably not. No, I would agree with that. I think between, the players on the field giving some bright lights to go to that guy, the play call, we just saw this play. Wait, we've seen this play on film 700 times, and they cut it back, and people get killed. I think all of that. And that's where, again, it's not always about one guy. That would be, if you could literally dial up a play to go, there's a play, who can we screw over? It would be that guy you would screw over and go, I got to play for it. It was a good design by McVay and company.
As the dust settles from the game and everybody's kind of pouring through what mattered, what didn't matter, a lot of talk about the fact that the Rams couldn't run the ball at all. Alan Chris talked about it during the broadcast quite a bit, I thought, too. They only had 43 total rushing yards. This question from Thomas Spenna, what was the Bengals defense doing so well to stop the Rams' run game beyond having two studs in the middle?
Yeah, what up, Tomas? That's my man there. So, first off, he's right. They got two studs in the middle. That helps them out. Here was the big thing I would tell you that happened in the run game. The Bengals changed the way they aligned on the defensive front.
Let's see.
Okay? And there was a lot of this. Now, the Rams are famous for their zone blocking scheme. And, they want to, more times than not, and I'm just going to even get to disconnect here so I can't step away. I need the microphone. I forgot. More time, they want to run zone scheme. And they want to run it, to explain it here just before we show, like, if they wanted to run the zone play to the right, they want to run 63, reach the defensive tackle on the right, and then kind of get up to the second level and have the center now take over the block that 63 was on, and so on down the line. Where the Bengals did a lot through this game is they played their defensive tackles head up on the guards a little bit. So usually in a 4-down front, you have a nose, right? A shade nose who's right on the center,
Sure.
on the edge of him, right, on one of his shoulders either way, and then you have a 3 technique. What they did in this game is sometimes they played double 3 technique, so you don't really have a bubble, like an uncovered lineman other than the center. That messes up with the zone schemes. Or, like in this play right here, look at the left defensive tackle. Instead of being a shade nose, he's really in what we would call a 2-eye. He's on the inside edge of the left guard, which it makes it hard on the inside zone schemes. And a lot of the times with these two beasts in the middle, they also just said, and this is not something they always do there, where they just said, you guys two-gap it. Two-gap it. And hold those guards up. Don't let them move down the line to block the next guy, get to the second level. And it really f***ed with the Rams' ability to run the ball all day. So not only was it, the physicality of the Bengals up front, but their changing of just little subtle alignment changes that give this type of run scheme issues. And it has in the past, but, I'm sure the Rams saw this and said, wait, we haven't seen this on film all year.
Right.
So they probably weren't expecting it, and they really never had an answer or another scheme to go to off of this. But that would be my biggest takeaway of why the run game. Added to, we talk about linebackers shooting their gun, right?
Yep.
Where, hey, linebacker, don't just shuffle down the line of scrimmage and stay in your gap. If you see something open in the gap and there's a hole, run through the gap, because 9 times out of 10, the running back's going to be running through that hole. So the linebackers played very aggressive to shoot gaps as well, instead of just going, wait, I'm going to shuffle sideline to sideline and stay in my gap, because we know the Rams are masters at cutbacks or setting people up that way, and they just said, nah, we'll clog up the hole.
A couple of numbers post-game when you really get into what happened. Make you say, well, how did the Rams win? They lost a turnover battle, first of all, which is interesting.
Right.
And back to this run game, they averaged less than 2 yards per carry. First team to win a Super Bowl to average less than 2 yards per carry.
Well, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's congrats to the Bengals defense for playing it so well. What I see, though, is that they never really abandoned it, though.
No.
And that helped them, even though they weren't having success with it. I think Akers and Henderson had 17 carries between the two.
Attempts, right? We've talked about them. Attempts are just as important as the yards sometimes.
You just showed the play action. They had the run before.
Right.
I know that had to help a little bit.
Sure.
Loosening up. And I'm just impressed that they didn't have Stafford throw it 54 times when they weren't having a lot of success with it. That they still found a home for it within the moderate success they had.
Found moderate success for it. Stay patient with it. Don't let the defense just play pass every play.
Yeah.
Helps your pass rush. Big picture of the game, your defense is kicking ass. There's no point to throw and take them with any chances. Strip sack, fumble, tip ball, interception, any of that. So McVay played it the right way, And, again, I never even, with the Odell, I never answered the Odell what they, I think everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
Less than 3 yards per carry. Two turnovers, right? Less than 2. 2 turnovers, right? Third, tight end gets hurt. We're on a third-string tight end. Odell gets hurt. We're on a bunch of guys we don't know at receiver. I mean, we can't run the ball. All those. Again, to me, a lot of this is the Odell effect, too. It really is. This is a team that's predicated on stars. They're not deep. They're predicated on their big guys being big in these type of games. It changed the game completely. I am one to sit here that the stat lines that we just said, I think prove that the Rams, in no question in my mind, were the better team on the field. There's no question. And then I also go, and I don't want to sound like a Bengal hater because I respect them, but I do think if Odell stayed in the game, it was going to pose problems for the Bengals. I don't see them slowing them down too much in this football game if he stays on the field. I really think in my heart of hearts, and again, I know I'm not right about everything, I go Rams win by 10 if Odell plays in the game. I really feel that way. Maybe 14. Yeah,
it was
13-3.
So.
I know that about it. So that's just my thoughts. I don't know if that's right. That's just a projection, but certainly was a way more dangerous offense and posed a lot more problems to the Bengals when OBJ was in the game.
I also want to point out, as long as we're talking about the Rams running game, take a step beyond that and stay with the running backs. And Henderson had 3 catches, 2 of them for first downs, for big first downs. You compare that to Mixon, he had 1 receiving yard.
Right.
And you're like, okay, how much does that matter? In a game where it's a one-score game, where the under is the good bet, all these little things matter, and the Rams running backs found a way to contribute to this tight win much more than the Bengals running backs did.
I would agree. You know, Mixon had a smattering of runs and the toss, right? But you're right. It maybe not as many game-changing plays where Henderson had 2 big catches.
Yes.
The one you talked about, the fake to him, and then he ran up the sideline.
Yep.
That was the play after Odell just caught a long crosser, right?
Yes.
So he had that play in a man-to-man coverage once again, open across the middle, 35-yard gain or whatever it was. So you got that. Then they hit the play action to Henderson where, you know, they tried to basically, you know, like, hey, we're faking to him, we're looking downfield and hope they would forget about him.
Right.
Hendrickson did a pretty good job of staying with them. He made a great throw, Stafford, and Henderson made a great catch. And then there was a 3rd down in the 3rd quarter.
And it was he was in the slot, that exact same route that we saw.
Exactly. It was a slot fade.
It was the wide fade to a running back.
Wide fade, which, you know, again, is a risky, it's a risky throw. I'm not going to lie. I'm not always like, 3rd and long, I want to throw to my running back. That's not something a lot of quarterbacks would want to do. He had faith in Darrell Henderson. It was one of the few plays in the second half that the Rams won in man-to-man coverage. You know, you got Logan Wilson matched up against Henderson. Henderson did a good job, and Stafford threw him a great ball. But I think those points are real. There's no doubt. And Henderson's, you know, the Akers 8-yard run at the very end of the game to get them down to like the 8-yard line. Those were some big plays in the game by the Rams running backs.
So for everybody who didn't have, if you weren't pulling for one team over the other, you just wanted to see an awesome game.
Right.
The perfect setup at the end. Stafford gets the ball back, needs a touchdown to win. They have the ball around midfield. Who's he look to? Of course, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So let's focus on that Stafford to Kupp connection there late in the game. First question from @CharlieJammies14. Are there plays when Stafford just decides, I'm going to throw it to Kupp no matter what? And what makes Kupp great is that he gets open every time.
Kupp's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think Kupp should have been the MVP. I will say that. I've said that already. Aaron Donald should have been the MVP. My second vote would have gone to Matthew Stafford over Cooper Kupp. I'm sorry. Matthew Stafford's game with no running game, a 3rd-string tight end, Odell Beckham Jr. gets hurt.
We'll get to that.
And I know. And some of the throws. But, yes, what makes Cooper Kupp amazing is, you know, something I talked about on the pregame show. First off, if you saw the human of Cooper Kupp, you'd go, oh, fuck. I didn't expect him to look like this. You know, I think most people think this is Julian Edelman or Wes Welker.
Big dude.
He's 6'2.5". He's 210 pounds. And he doesn't really even have to, like, lift weights or work out because he'll get big. So he's gifted muscularly, right? Yeah. He's wired that way. You know, everybody, when we were there the week before, Rodney Harrison, Maria, to everybody, one of the first things everybody said is, I didn't realize Cooper Kupp was that big.
Yeah.
Right? So he's big. He's incredibly quick. He's got all the jitterbug that Edelman or Wes Welker has, except he's a much bigger human being. And then he has more vertical speed, right? You know, he's not like a blazer to where you go, oh, my gosh, I'm shaking in my boots, but plenty of speed to where you go, you play him man-to-man or bump too many times, he can run by you and make some plays. Now, where I think, again, the Bengals messed up is they didn't play man-to-man as much. I would have said, let me see Cooper Kupp try to run by me for a 60-yard go route or something, you know? Or I'm going to double Cooper Kupp and let me see Skornick or somebody else beat us to win the game. Right. And when they did that, it was successful for the most part. Yeah. But at the end of the game, they got it a little into, we're up by 4. You know, it's tough. I don't blame anybody because it's tough. You go, man, I don't want to play man-to-man and the guy trips and falls, or, you know, they throw our guy to the ground like T. Higgins did to Jalen Ramsey and we get a touchdown and all of a sudden we're losing just because I played man-to-man.
Yeah.
That's where it's tough, I know. But I'm more like probably like you. I'm going, yeah, but it worked every time we called it in the second half.
Right.
So let's just go down with it.
Yeah, and it also worked. I mean, it made me think 2 weeks ago in the AFC title game, there were times where Kansas City was moving and they needed to get the ball to Hill, and they kept doubling him.
Right.
They took him away time after time.
Yes.
So I'm with you. I mean, I know it's risky, but, I mean, I would have liked to see them do that.
I would have, too.
Well.
I would have gone down swinging with that just because it worked so successful. And I'd go, wait, you know, we're going to stop Kupp and make one of these guys that I don't even know their names beat us, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Play of the game.
Play of the game.
Unbelievable throw by Stafford
Play
here.
of the game.
Ball at midfield. It's the deep in route on the game-winning drive that eventually led to the game-winning touchdown.
Right. So, you know, they got Skornick and Van Jefferson to the left. And just pause it right here, Matt, just for a second. They ran this play earlier in the third quarter where number 88, that's Hopkins, right? I mean, I'm not even ready for his damn name because he's a third-string tight end. Hopkins basically going to run like 6 yards and turn around, and then they run a receiver behind him on the in cut, right? They're high-lowing the coverage. And the first time they ran this play, coverage stayed back. And Stafford hit Hopkins, and you might even remember Hopkins bobbled the ball and then ran like a crab through a bunch of people covering the ball with two hands. So they've run it already, and Hopkins got the ball. So here they come back to it, and Matthew Stafford makes this play. I want you to watch Von Bell, number 24 in the middle of your screen, because Stafford is going to stare down 88 Hopkins and make Von Bell move just enough to where he could throw the unbelievable no-look throw. Look at his eyes. He's staring at 88. Stafford's been doing no-look throws for a long time. He just hasn't been on a team for everybody to go, wow, this guy can throw no-look throws. He's been doing it since Mahomes did it. He has. He's done it more times than Mahomes has done it, and at a higher success rate. But see here, look what he got Von Bell to do. He got Von Bell to take about 3 steps to 88 Hopkins, and now here goes the throw, no look. Look at Von Bell, and he misses the ball by inches.
Yeah.
And, again, I know this is, I'm not saying this is bad by Cooper Kupp, but I'm more amazed by the throw than the guy that just caught the ball that was put into his 2 hands.
Unbelievable throw.
I mean, that's where it's, again, Stafford's not getting enough respect for his performance in this game. Wait, pressure in his face. Rewind that again. So here, let's just go back to this play. Again, zone coverage is the point here for both of these plays. Now we have Cooper Kupp on Logan Wilson. To our man's question with Charles Jameis 14. He's going to get open on a middle linebacker every fucking time. So, of course, you're going to look at him. Right? Are there plays when Stafford just decides to throw to Cooper Kupp, right? Yes, when he sees a linebacker covering one of the best receivers in football, he's going to sit there and wait on it. So they play zone again. Here we go. Boom. Jam it in. Right. Good throw. Nice catch. Still, they knew that route was coming to a degree, but they got to respect some things. So there you got 2 zone plays in a row of going bam and bam, and they got down the field, and here we are in position now to score.
So now we are back to the no-look.
Look at this throw. Right? Look at that throw.
A couple of points here. Number 1, Bell is put there to take away the in route.
They're playing that for the in route. Exactly right.
He is there for one reason, to take away the 15 to 20-yard in route.
Yes.
And he wasn't able to do so. Even if Stafford was looking, and Matty, go ahead and hit play on this. And I want to stop it at the point Stafford makes the decision to throw it. So here.
A little more.
Stop. Okay. Even if he was looking at Kupp and stepping toward him, the anticipation and accuracy on this throw required is so high.
It's high level. That's
and then
where
you throw in the fact that he wasn't looking at him.
I know.
And then watch his follow through. He's got his whole body going one way.
It's like that.
And it goes the other way.
I know.
This is as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. It's a special arm. It's one of the greatest arms in the history of football. It's one of the greatest throwers in the history of football. And that was an unbelievable,
ridiculous,
gutsy move, clutch, whatever you want to say.
Filthy.
Brains to go, wait, I'm going to look this mother off 24 and hope he bites a little, because if he does, I'm going to throw a laser right by his ear.
Yep.
And if he doesn't look him off, I don't think he can get it in there. I don't think he can. I don't think he's going to get that completion. As we saw, it was very close, even with the look off, the no look pass. So, it's another one where you go, oh, Von Bell, but you want to go, well, damn. I mean, I don't know. The other guy's f***ing good too.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Von Bell. I'm not. Von Bell will probably watch us at some point and go, man, I mean, I knew Cooper Kupp was over there. They were going to go to him. I wish I would have just let him throw to 88. Let him throw to 88. Right.
I mean, his reaction.
But it's tough.
It was kind of like he was trying to jump the curl. You're not there to jump the curl over there. You're there to take away the middle.
Take the middle. But he sees the eyes. And again, to your point before with the run play and then the bootleg for the touchdown, he saw the play earlier. So he's going, wait, I saw this?
Yeah.
And they threw it to that guy. And then, okay, he's looking right at him. So I'm not going to let him throw to that guy. What zoom went by you? And that's just
it all day long.
Hey, that's high-level play right there.
To the final play. This question from @Tobias Kober. Why did the Bengals not double Cooper Kupp on the last touchdown? He's outside one-on-one. Come on, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, it's first off, again, they're on the 1 foot line.
Lots of questions about this too. In the 3 days discussions I've had, everybody brings this question.
I understand. They're on the 1 or 2 foot line. So they're worried about the run game.
Yeah.
They're worried. We talked about McVay runs the ball. He doesn't give a shit, even if you got, so they're worried about that. You know, he's not afraid to just jam it in there. Tell Cam Akers, yeah, just put your head down and jam it in there. So, you know, they're playing that to stop the run at the 1 foot. They got to play stop the touchdown.
Yeah.
And they're going to play, let's hope our studies and our corners who are good can just win some battles out here.
Yeah.
And just let them not have, you know, hopefully we can contest the throw and they don't make it happen. But the problem is, you know, it's Stafford, who's a really high-level thrower, and Cooper Kupp, who's amazing as well, we know. And what I think, too, is like on the first touchdown to Odell where, like you said, we've seen that route so many, but I don't think they ran that route out of that look, right? It's usually like a more of a bunch look.
Right.
I would bet you on this last touchdown play, there's very few Cooper Kupp runs a fade to the back of the end zone. I would bet you the numbers more times than not say he breaks inside and runs a slant route.
He was playing him that way. If you go back and watch it, Apple was lined up about a half yard to a yard inside, and he wasn't even like looking at Stafford to make him think maybe he's playing zone. He was eyes strictly on Kupp, clearly inside.
Right.
So at the first glance, Stafford knows, okay, he's playing man, and he's shading him way to the inside. He's got outside leverage.
I don't know if they look at it. You know, there's been offenses I go where we have the slant and the fade called, and we had a signal. Like, if he's playing the inside, Joey Gallo may grab his face mask, and that meant now he's running the fade. Right? He's playing me inside. I'm giving you the old face mask grab. That means run fade. I don't know if it's that, or I don't know if it was something they saw through their game planning and their own preparation going, we run slant all the time.
Right.
Let's change it up, fake the slant. But you're right. They're playing the slant. Right before the snap, he takes a step inside to take that away. Cooper Kupp does a good job of being patient and selling it a little bit, and you let it go, and that's that. You know, but there it is. And really, as I heard after the game, this is Odell's spot.
Right.
This is supposed to be Odell. Cooper Kupp should be on in the inside, running the slant. And I bet you more times than not, like I said, the numbers show him running that. But, yeah, if you can go all the way back to the start here as much as you can, you know, we just missed the point of where Eli take that step inside to cut him off. He'd probably just taken it, but he is inside, to Paul's point. And, you know, hey, good thing. This is a run pass option. This is a run play called.
Really?
Yeah, this is a run play call. They're running inside zone with, if they don't have, I'm guessing 3 over 2 on the receivers on the outside. If they had another DB like doubling them or a safety over the top, I bet you he runs the ball. But if we get 2 on 2, then we throw it. And good thing he did throw it, because if you go back one more time, Matt Casey running the controls today, watch 57 Pratt. He busts through, shoots his gun on the left side here. You're going to see. Watch, he busts through. He's going to tackle Darrell Henderson for a no gain. He's right over the tight end. See him shoot through? There he is. He almost touches Stafford as he throws the ball. But, yes, that was a called run play with those two guys running. They're running their normal zone blocking scheme, and they're just going to tell them to smash it in there. But they didn't get the look they wanted, so they throw the fade.
One other thing that as I watch it over and over again, sometimes, not always, but sometimes it really pays off to go formation into the boundary.
Yeah.
Because if you get the look you want, if you go back to the very beginning again, Matty, I mean, I'm guessing here, but I mean, the best receiver in the league, the most productive receiver, is 10 yards away from you as opposed to 30 with inside leverage.
Right.
I mean, I hate saying anything is easy because I know how difficult it is. It's so much easier when he's that much closer to you. So the formation into the boundary here really paid off.
No, it does. It does pay off. You're right. And it really probably emboldens the Bengals to go, wait, there's less area out here. Let's not be so scared to play man-to-man.
Right.
There is some things there where you can use the psychology of that against the defense, and I think that does come into play. Great catch, perfect throw. Right, touchdown, Rams win it.
Okay, so as long as we're talking the final drive, to me, the main part was Stafford to Kupp and how good that was and what the Bengals did or didn't do defensively with their scheme. Refs swallowing their whistles until the end of the game. So I'll get you rolling down this lane here with this question from @Robert07X. What did you think of that critical call against the Bengals linebacker Wilson at the end of the game?
Listen, I know everybody's going to look at it and go, well, the refs, hey, I don't like this either. You know, don't call anything all game. You know, they're pass interference left and right all season long, but we get in these type of games and everybody swallows their whistle. And I do not like that aspect. That is called so differently from the regular season as compared to the Super Bowl.
I liked it better in this game, though. I mean, I'd rather see not as many.
I agree with you. I wish they would do that all regular season.
Right, me too.
I wish that if they just did that, I'd be like, fine, this is fine. It's rubbing is racing, football, cool.
Yeah, it is a drastic change.
It's a drastic change,
season,
right? Where we see, like, pinky nails get touched, and they're like, that's a pass interference. Free 50 yards. F it, you touch his pinky nail. How dare you?
Yeah.
Now you're like, wait, he's strangling the guy, and they don't call it. And I'm like, fine, don't call it, but let's just not call it.
Right.
All right, so there's a few things here. All right, I know most of the world thinks the Bengals got screwed over. I can tell you as an innocent bystander that the Rams got the short end of the stick with the calls and non-calls in this game more than anybody. We can go back and tally them up, but if we want to do a Twitter live section and we can watch the game live once more time, and I can tell you that there's more penalties by the Bengals not called than the Rams, okay? So stop, like, the social media bullshit of we're all going to jump into this perception. So here.
Final drive inside the 20s.
We're not even at Wilson yet. This is not even Wilson. This is the 1st and 8. All right, 1st and 8 on one of the first plays after Cam Akers got him down here with the grid run play. All right, so here's one of the first down. This is pass interference holding on Cooper Kupp. They don't call it. All right. I mean, it's holding, as you can see right there. He's coming out of the break, and the guy has 2 hands locked on him. He can't separate. All right, so there's one play where I go, nothing was called. All right, let's go to the next one, Matthew Casey. So there's that play. This is the same play. He threw the ball to Darrell Henderson here, right? He looked at Kupp 1. Kupp was being held. He comes down to Darrell Henderson. He throws it to Darrell Henderson on his feet. I mean, it's blatant holding. It's blatant. If we could show it like a real video and get close, he's holding. He's almost got him horse collared. He has his hands inside the framework of the shoulder pad. So that should have been pass interference right there, because this ball gets thrown. The ball's in the process of being thrown to him right here. So we have holding on Cooper Kupp, Darrell Henderson, 1st and 8, not called. Okay. So now let's go to the next play. Here's the next play. Oh, sorry. So this is the Henderson play still. The first punt of Cooper Kupp was the 1st and 8. Henderson 2nd and 8. You saw that. This is also the Henderson play. And so everybody knows, because they're doubling Cooper Kupp here. And again, another example of, man, they had a hard time getting open.
Yeah.
But this doesn't even do it justice. He was held twice on this play.
Right.
These are still shots. Eli Apple held him first, and then after he broke away from Eli Apple, Von Bell holds him. All right, so we've showed 2 plays in a row now where there's 3 holdings, nothing's called on the Bengals. So stop with, like, the Bengals got screwed over. And we also got the T. Higgins offensive pass interference for a 75-yard touchdown.
Right.
Stop. So stop. Now, let's get to this play, the Logan Wilson play. Listen, it's not the most egregious in the world, I understand. It's more egregious than everybody's going to get credit for. First off, this play is specifically designed for this coverage. They know, once again, it's zone. Yeah. They're going, wait, it's our best receiver in football, one-on-one with Logan Wilson. See, where I think everybody's wrong, first off, is they're looking at this aspect of it. They're going, wait, that's not pass. This is the penalty right here. This is Logan Wilson. He's 245 pounds. He's in this position. First off, if he's this quick to be in this position and get back and cover Cooper Kupp, then we now need to start paying Logan Wilson $15 million a year, because he can cover slot receivers without doing it. He has his hand that's sticky, let alone, all right, because it's a glove in the NFL, on a chest. And I would love to stand up right now and be in this position and go, Paul, try to cross my face and see if you can really cross it at the speed you want to. We already did it in the office, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to use a whole lot of force to slow you down.
Right.
And this is bright lights. The field is opened up to design this one-on-one in the middle. So the referee only has this to look at. The referee's right under the goalpost. He is looking right at it. That is where it was called. It was called holding, not pass interference.
Right.
Not only does he do it right here, but as he does get by him, he then hooks him again with his left arm and right arm to slow him down and get himself back in position. So I know that's not the worst, but there's 2 hands on the guy.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Come on. Okay, I know this part. I had no problem with that part.
He played it perfectly at the ball.
At the ball, he played it perfectly.
I also was guilty of just focusing on that.
Right. I think that's because I don't think even in the telecast, everything was happening so fast.
Right.
I think Collinsworth and company were also amazed that, like, whoa, there is a penalty finally.
Yeah.
And that became the theme. And I think most of the people watching on TV didn't realize defensive holding was called,
right.
not pass interference.
Yeah.
I had no problem with the bang knockdown at the end either.
Right.
Even though he got there a little early, it's all right. Rubbin's racing. I get that.
Yeah.
But if we're going to start letting teams get to the end of the game, I'm so glad they started to call penalties here. Okay? Because if we're going to get to the end of important games and just go, the defense is going to go, I'm going to hold every play, and I just don't think they'll call it, then we're going to have issues. You got to hold them to the letter of the law to a degree. And see, to me, this was getting to a point here where it was the end, and the Bengals were going, I don't think they'll call it every play. We just got away with it 2 plays in a row.
Right.
Let's do it again.
There's a certain amount of physicality and grabbing that is to be expected.
I get you.
Kind of like getting a rebound in a basketball game.
Right.
Or like the old adage is you could call holding on the offensive line any play you wanted to. So, yeah, this slowed down. There's hands on these receivers. Sometimes they were grabbing them. But, I mean, there's also some of it, I think, that should be okay and expected.
Yes.
And it's like finding that line.
I hear you. You got to find the line. I get you there.
Do you think they're coached to grab like this?
I think that not that they're coached to grab like this, but I think they know in these situations and the way the game has been called that they're going, wait, I think I can get away with it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, here's the tough one. Again, it goes back to our zone conversation. Where I go, back to our guy Charlie Jamie's 14. Like, yes, Stafford's going to throw the ball to him when he sees a middle linebacker covering one of the best receivers in football.
I think I gave him a pet name. It's probably actually Jameis. I called him Jammies.
Jameis, whatever. Yep.
Whatever it is.
Whatever. He knows we're his friend. So that would be, again, plays into that theme, and that should be called. Again, Logan Wilson's not that athletic to be in that position and then now get back and do it at the Cooper Kupp. He used his body weight, his strength, and everything to help himself get back in the play. So there's that call, all right? We're not done yet.
Right.
We're not done.
Yeah. Keep it going.
We're not done because now here's the next play. They don't call this.
Yeah.
This is the next play. This is the play that ends up being the touchdown to Cooper Kupp because he regains his balance, and then they call the unnecessary roughness hit to Von Bell to his head, and there was also the right holding on Havenstein at right tackle, right? So here we got, again, Bengals fans in the Bengals universe or anybody who bet on the Bengals, they all think they got screwed over by one play, and I'm going, no. You're wrong.
You're saying it all equaled out.
It equaled out. If anything, the Rams are getting screwed over here. Okay? This is holding, tackling.
It's tackling.
I mean, illegal assault on a receiver, and it wasn't called. All right, so there we have that, and then let alone we know we're going to have the one on the little sprint out option that puts him at the one before he throws the touchdown.
Right.
So, again, that's where I just want everybody to calm down with that a little bit.
I think it's fair to point that out because it was so blatant on the touchdown with the grabbing of the face mask. People are already mad about that.
Right.
But when you look at the total picture here and slow it down and look at all the contact, I think your points.
There's a drive.
No matter what team you like, those are valid points.
Yeah, let's just keep it real here. I mean, it was Jalen Ramsey. Did he grab T. Higgins on that, the first field goal drive by the Bengals? Yes, he did. It was a little different as far as he was behind the guy. It's harder to see. Would I have liked it called? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not trying to give excuses to LA or anything like that, but I am trying to say is let's not overreact on one play. The Bengals, they got away with a lot, even what I've shown you there, and I could show you another 2 or 3 plays in the second half where I'd go, Van Jefferson had one of those slot fades down the right sideline early in the fourth quarter. He tried to catch it with one hand. Well, the damn guy was holding his left hand. He had no chance, right? That's not called. Again, so that's where don't everybody just be so reactionary just to one thing. Let's look at it all, digest it all. Context does matter.
I like that you mentioned a little bit ago, we were talking about something else, and I said we'd get to this, that you thought Matthew Stafford should have been the MVP, and I'm with you. I still would have voted for Donald, but
I would have voted for Donald.
Stafford
Donald won. Stafford would have been my number 2.
Much better than his numbers said. I mean, the way he played,
exactly.
I liked it a lot. So let's go big picture on what you saw from him.
Yeah.
Question is from @TheDerekQ. With this postseason run, would you consider Stafford as one of the most clutch quarterbacks ever? Also, is Stafford a Hall of Famer if he keeps going with these numbers a few more years? I don't so much want to get into that.
Yeah.
We do that in the offseason.
Right.
I want to hear what you like specifically about what Stafford did.
I think specifically what I like is, was aggressive, didn't let the interceptions bother him, continued to hang in the pocket. He hurt his ankle too. Even the Cooper Kupp no-look throw, he's got a guy about to hit him in the chest, and he still throws it. He never buckles under the pressure. made some, to your point what you said earlier, there was 4 or 5 throws in the game that were high level, high degree of difficulty, and then he made it look like, hey, I'm just walking it to you and putting it right here. He makes it look too easy sometimes. I don't think people respect what they're really seeing. So with all of that, and then the injuries added on top of it, really really never made I didn't come through the game going, he made bad decisions.
No, he didn't.
The Skornick interception to start the third quarter.
That's on the receiver.
Well, the receiver, and another instance, I should have took he got held.
Yeah.
I would love to. I should have shown that. Damn it, I forgot. But there's another one where I go, Bengals, you got an interception because you held the guy too. Right? So that wasn't a bad decision, though.
No.
So you say that. He threw the one in the back corner in the end zone. He just didn't throw it far. He was trying to go a one-on-one shot. It was 3rd and 14.
Long.
Right.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt their team.
Right.
Right? So I just think it was a gritty, tough, clutch performance, and one of the clutchest drives I've ever seen, especially when you go, man, they had a hard time moving the ball. Both drives in the second half that led to points were tough and earned through pinpoint passes, being tough, a little smattering of just stay patient with the run game. But they had a 10-play, 52-yard drive for the field goal that was tough. And then, of course, the 15-play drive to win the game, which was very tough, and it wasn't easy, and they were undermanned. I look at that. First off, Stafford has always been clutch. He has. He's just been on a shitty team, so it hasn't resulted always in, a ton of wins. But some of those years they went to the playoffs, I go, they're not in the playoffs without Matthew Stafford. They're not even in the playoff picture in the years where everyone goes, well, they missed the playoffs again because of Matthew Stafford. I go, they were only at a chance because of Matthew Stafford. They were 7-9, and they should have been 4-12. But they were 7-9 because of Matt Stafford.
Right.
So he's always had the clutch gene. I'm not ready to say Hall of Fame yet, but he has Hall of Fame potential. That's another thing I said in the pregame. He's always been a Super Bowl quarterback. He's never had a team that's been on a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Now he's got it, and I think he's going to continue to show everybody what he's got.
And his reputation coming into Los Angeles was like all this talent, and there are a lot of times we saw it.
Right.
I mean, that is as clutch of a throw on a game-winning drive in the Super Bowl, that no-look, as we'll ever see. But to me, you brought up the number one term, and that's tough.
Yeah.
This entire game was difficult.
Yes.
He didn't have wide open guys where he could just show off a laser. It really didn't happen.
Right.
We saw his buddy Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
And it made me think of a baseball reference. Like the entire game for him was like a 2-2 count.
Yeah, you're
there
right.
was no 2-0, 90-mile fastball.
You're right.
Down the middle.
2-2, 3-1 counts always. You're right.
It was 2-2 the entire game.
Yeah.
And he played that way. He came underneath. He would go in the middle a little bit. He would throw the ball away. I just thought the way he played wasn't about the talent and splash that we heard about, and now it's going to come out in L.A. because he's on this great team. He kind of put the helmet on. He's running uphill.
Just grinding it out.
Decisions.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just so impressive.
Yes.
Of not just that he won, but the way he played. One stat that shows it, 7 out of 16 on 3rd and 4th down.
That's right.
4-17.
That says a lot.
Go back to what I said earlier, in a game where the under is the bet, and it's a one-score game.
Right.
Those things are worth their weight.
No doubt.
Gold. Something else I thought about with Stafford.
Yeah.
We talked about his 2 picks.
Right.
He had about an hour to an hour and a half of real time where his day was interceptions, watching the other team take the lead, sitting around at that long damn halftime.
Right.
I mean, that's mental toughness to deal with that kind of shit, and to have it not change the way you play.
That's where I think McVay, and that's where when I was spending my day with the Rams, that I learned where McVay, I knew McVay's got tremendous confidence in Stafford.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the comment is like he's got a lot of shit in his neck. There's a lot of toughness and grit. And he wants to give it to everybody, even though he says the right things at the podium.
Yeah.
And then the one thing he said to me is his ability to wipe the slate clean after mistakes.
So
he's never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And that's why he's able to just continue to call the offense, because he always, even when he does make a mistake, like McVay told me, the answers are right when he comes to the sideline. He saw everything the right way. I just did something stupid, or or I didn't see that guy. I thought I had this, whatever. But it's never like deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
And to your point of what you're saying, to throw 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl, and then still continue to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of quarterbacks would have been managing their reputation after 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And been unwilling to take some chances.
And the other team was
not sure you're making a no-look throw down the middle like that if you've already thrown to. Most quarterbacks would not do it.
Right.
Maybe Allen, Mahomes, those kind of guys would. But it's a short list of guys that have the guts to do that, in my opinion.
Bengals won a 17-0 run at one
I know.
point.
It's unbelievable.
Kind of gets buried in everything else.
Buried.
I mean, that's
that's
a big figure or stat to look at.
Yeah.
So let's turn it now and look at Joe Burrow. And what he did and also what he didn't do. I'm going to ask 2 questions here kind of at the same time from our listeners here, and you can kind of respond after the second one. So the first, I don't want to bury this. This is from the Artful Wanker, Chris. Okay? He is now number 1 over Matt the W.
I mean,
Sorry,
he should be.
W.
Yeah, I mean, the Artful Wanker.
The Artful Wanker.
That is awesome. He's got to be from England, right? He's got to be over there, or UK. He's got to be something over there.
British in some way. Okay, his question. Thoughts on the phenomenon of Burrow's swagger influencing the overpraise excuse of his failings? He was terrible on the 4th down in the first and on 2nd and 1 on the final drive. Media largely still raved. He seems unwilling to dump to the running back or throw the ball in the dirt to avoid sacks. Okay, next one. This is from @Hawk. And after Hawk, it gets a little confusing, but I think it's Stroliger. Love the pod. How would you describe Joe Burrow's performance in the Super Bowl? I feel he may have failed to pull the trigger at times, or maybe it was his vision. So go ahead.
There are 2 good assessments, I think. You know, one to Hawk Stroliger. Hawk Stroliger? The
important part of it is Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Hawk Stroliger, and I love hawks, okay? I don't know if it's a real hawk or a Seahawk or either way, but I like hawks, okay? I do. I like them all right? But did he fail? Did he miss some throws and fail to pull the trigger? Yes. We're going to get into that.
Yep.
Now, I'll give him a little leeway. It's hard when your ass is under fire the whole fucking game. It's hard. It's hard to be patient in the pocket and see things the right way because, again, put yourself in his shoes. Get the ball. It's look at a guy. Get the ball. Look at a guy. And so, okay, now you get the ball. You look at the guy, and you're expecting, and I got to run. Wait, my guy wasn't open. Oh, wait, I am protected. It's hard to play that way, so I want to make sure we got that. Now, the Artful Wanker, I also think makes what I would call honest assessment. Again, Joe Burrow's awesome. He's certainly a top 5-ish quarterback in football. Do I think the hype is a little much this postseason? Yes, I do. I do. The Titans game was good. Don't get me wrong. They won it. I know that. But, hey, Tannehill threw 3 interceptions, and they got put in some good spots. His biggest play of the game was a 1-yard throw to Jamar Chase, who ran 70 yards up the sideline.
Okay.
The Chiefs game, again, I'm not saying bad, but people made it like it was like the Josh Allen Mahomes performance we saw in those games, where I'm going to go, they were just a little overhyped in my opinion.
He was an A to me.
Yeah, he was.
The way in that game.
He was. He made great plays with his legs.
Yes, he did.
He made the 4 scrambles.
Yeah, they were down.
They
3
made some good throws, definitely. There's no doubt. Now, listen, his biggest pass play of the game was a screen to Samaj Perine, who ran for a 45-yard touchdown.
In the Chiefs game?
Yeah, when they were down 21-3.
Yeah.
Their play to score to make 21-10, he just threw a screen to Perine, and they ran up the right sideline for a long touchdown. He made some good throws. I'm not trying to. Yeah. I'm just saying I think it was a little overblown.
Okay.
All right, that's all I'm trying to say. I love Joe Burrow.
I know you do.
He's top 5-ish. But do I think people put him a little much on a pedestal this postseason? Yes, I do. He's handsome. He's cool. I would do anything to be just like him and be him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the hype, I think, was a little much.
Yeah.
This game, he played good. He didn't play great.
Right.
That's how I would express it. Just good. He's going to look at some plays and go, damn, I'm Joe Burrow, and I'm better than that. I should have done this or that here.
As they became a real thing, especially late in the season, and I started watching them closer, and we were spending more time in the pod talking about them, this term big play Bengals came up a lot.
Right.
Of course, they hit a lot of big plays. But when I really started watching, and what I was most impressed with, he was never afraid in the intermediate throws that were difficult, whether it was the 20-yard out route to the sideline from one hash to the other, that precise in route. They did a lot of that.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of it in the Super Bowl. They had the 2 big shots down the sideline. They had a little dink and dunk. They had a lot of that. That middle of the field, the difficult throw that I am cutting it loose and putting it right on my guy that we saw the last month and a half.
Right.
We didn't see
non-existent.
So you think it was more because he wasn't seeing it and cutting it loose, or because the Rams played a defense and took it away?
Rams took a lot away. The Rams were over a lot of their stuff. I will say that, okay? The pressure was real, too. There's still a few plays where, and we'll look at it here in a second, where I go, there's 5 or 6 throws where I still just say, no, Joe, you missed it. You missed the throw, or you moved the pocket and you shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. There was that. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But I will say this. I was underwhelmed by both offensive game plans in this game. I can understand the Rams' logic of not having to do anything crazy, because I think what they felt was what we saw in the first, 2 out of the first 3 drives.
Right.
They're going to have a hard time matching up with us with Odell and Cooper Kupp. My system's good. I know how to get Cooper open with the system, and Odell's the second read, and I know how to play them off each other to really put defenses in a bind, let alone he stays patient with the run.
Right.
So I can understand the Rams going a little bit like, I can understand their side a little bit more. I still would have liked to see more from McVay and company. Mm-hmm. They did have the play to Darrell Henderson you talked about. They fake. He ran down the sideline. That was cool. But I can understand them going, wait, I think they're going to have a hard time matching up with us. We don't need to be too crazy here.
Yeah.
All right? The Bengals, on the other hand, the whole universe was going, wait, there's a problem on this matchup with the Bengals offense and the Rams defense. We knew there was one spot where they were overly matched.
Up front.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody on earth, no matter who you saw, anybody that was involved in football in a pregame show or anyhow, can the f***ing Bengals block the Rams? No, they cannot.
Well.
They did almost nothing to help that out throughout the game.
Let's take a look at some missed opportunities.
Yeah, let's miss some missed opportunities.
We'll revisit that.
Right, we'll revisit. All right, so here.
So this is first drive, 4th and 1.
4th and 1.
Midfield.
Young team showing its youngness, in my opinion. Inexperienced head coach, not the time to go for it here. I'm sorry. I know it's the numbers era. It's analytics. It's the world still telling me they should throw it. They should have gone for it. All right, why? The Rams did nothing on the first drive, went 3 and out, punt the ball out, and pin them back in their own end zone. Let's go back to the top there, Matt. Sorry, I was raving. All right, so what I want everybody to watch here, first off, is Higgins is going to go in motion, and he's going to run the flat route at the top of the screen. He's wide open. He should get the ball. First down, Bengals are still going. All right, so that's the first thing we're going to watch. Let's all just watch this and take it in. All right, there goes Higgins. Boom. Joe, look out there. Throw him the ball. First down. Bengals still got the ball.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And they're going to probably get yards after the catch if he just slows them down and throws it a little behind him to where he doesn't run out of bounds. He's going to run up the field for another bunch of yards because 33 is covering him man-to-man and ran into Jalen Ramsey. So it's first down. Okay, now rewind one more time. Now, second part of this play. Yeah, you can stop right there, Matty. The backs on the wrong side are running the wrong route. Unless they've designed a play that I've never seen in the history of my life, but I've never seen a flat route followed by another flat route. Okay, now everybody watch the back this time around. The back is going to run the same route T. Higgins runs. Now, unless they're inventing some play that I've never seen before, but I've never seen that play design in the history of football. And guess who broke up the pass? Even though Joe should have thrown to Higgins.
Right, the guy covering.
Jamar Chase was open, but the guy covering the back who's running the wrong route, because he run the wrong route, puts Jones, 50, in the way of the play.
Awesome point.
So, to me, you have a coach making a bad decision on 4th down, a quarterback not reading the play out the right way and should have thrown to Higgins, and then P. Ryan, I'm guessing, should be on the other side of Joe Burrow and running the flat route to that side, or with this particular play on this side, he should just run right to the middle, right to 50, like a little check through, we would call it. Or just run right through the middle of the offensive line and just turn around at 4 yards.
He kind of stepped in at 50, just kind of wound up.
He just followed his guy, and then he looked up and he went, "Whoa, the ball's coming at my face! Whoa, look at me! I made a great play on 4th down, Mom." Right. Just happened to hit me in the face, but I'll take it.
All right, so that's one missed
drop
opportunity.
ball, dropped opportunity there.
There we go. So now we're looking at 1st and 10. It's 20-16. Bengals on top about halfway through the 4th.
Right. Now, here's the question to our Hawk astrologer, right? And we failed to pull the trigger. And again, let's be honest here.
I wondered about too.
You're right. I mean, guys under tremendous pressure.
Yeah.
Nobody's been hit more in the history of football this year than Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So, here he is. And what I want everybody to look at before we snap the ball here, he's running a play-action pass. Look at where he is. He's on the left hash. All right? He is going to take this ball and fake it to Joe Mixon and for some reason float to the right to almost where he's on the right hash. So go ahead and let that play. And within doing that, he runs himself. He should not be moving here to the right. He moves himself right into Aaron Donald. So now he's going, oh, shit, I got pressure. No, you really don't. You just moved into pressure. Look if he stayed on the hash where he should.
Yeah.
Right? So now he's thinking, oh, I got pressure, and he throws the ball to Joe Mixon for a -2 yard gain.
If he's on the hash, he's got a nice pocket.
Exactly. Yeah. If he's got a hash on the, and maybe he's going to have to make one step to his left. But my point is here, and I don't know if we have the other angle, and it might be hard to show. No, we don't have it. Let's just go back to the top and just see. I just want to see Jamar Chase up at the top of the screen. He's going to run a crossing route. He's wide. I've showed you on film already, so you saw it to verify my claim here.
Right.
But as this, watch Jamar Chase at the top of the screen. Jamar Chase he's wide open. The linebackers came up enough in the fake that they got enough separation. And look at Jamar Chase here at the top right of our screen here. You could see. It looks like he's running into space. Well, you're just going to have to trust me and Paul. He was open. He's going to catch the ball at the other 45-yard line with really nobody around him in a game here where the Bengals offense is struggling. And really, if Joe doesn't float to the right, he's going to hit Jamar Chase, and they're going to be in borderline field goal position to go up by a full 7 points.
Right.
See, so there were some opportunities missed within the game.
So subtle.
And there's a few more. Subtle.
I mean,
very.
That's 1 yard.
I know.
His setup drifted. Had it not, who knows what happens?
Who knows what happens? It changes the game. Yeah, there's a few plays in the game. There's a comeback route in the third quarter that he throws to Jamar Chase and skips it on the right sideline. He's protected well. Joe Burrow hits it 99 out of 100 times. For some reason, he tried to baby it, and Jamar Chase couldn't get down and get his hands underneath it. I showed you that play in the office before we came out here, too.
Right.
Yes, there was some plays that I'd expect Joe Burrow to hit.
Okay, and I think we need to spend a little time on Aaron Donald.
Well,
with the way we just saw him there,
right?
But focus in on him a little bit more. And Maddie, I believe we have a couple of the same question, correct? Okay, so Aaron Donald, I think he should have been the MVP. I love Kupp as a pick.
Yeah,
I also love Stafford as a pick.
Love them all. It's not personal.
The fact that the Bengals were inside the 15-yard line a couple of times and didn't score touchdowns, he was right in the middle of that.
Right.
I mean, that's, to me, how he would deserve to be the MVP.
The Rams,
let alone the final drive.
No, the Rams. I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, really, you go from the end of the second quarter, or let's say the third quarter on. He dominated the second half.
Yeah.
Almost every drive has 1 or 2 plays of Aaron Donald that drive up.
Yeah.
And what I'd like everybody to know is the Bengals only had 1 drive the whole game. Their drive to make it 10.
Yeah.
To go from 13-3. That was the only drive they had of the game. Like you explained already. It's a long pass to Higgins.
Yep.
All right, for 1 touchdown. You have the Jamar Chase long pass on the right sideline to set up the first field goal.
Yeah.
After you take that away, they really did nothing else in the football game.
They twice had it inside the 15 and had to kick a field goal.
Right. Well, they got the
one was the
one. The other one, and the other one was the Jamar Chase down the right sideline. Yeah. Jalen Ramsey. Listen, the Rams put Jalen Ramsey in some tough spots, and he did not play his best. He did some good things still in this game, and he allowed the Rams to be creative with their coverages because of his skill set, where they could go, hey, you're on this guy, now we can run a zone over here, right?
Right.
And that was big, certainly. But here, this is, to me, one of the themes of the game.
Huge
moment.
Early third quarter, 3rd down and 3, quite manageable.
Yes.
On the 13-yard line, and Donald comes up with a play.
Right, and Joe Burrow had just converted the 4th and 1 a few plays before by scrambling up the middle.
Yeah.
Right, and here, just go back one more time just so I can talk about the alignment, Matt. So this is, to me, where it changed. In the second half, the Rams got in more creative alignments with their front. And what I mean by that is they got in more fronts where it made it harder for the Bengals to double Aaron Donald. In the first half, they played a little bit of the, hey, we think our 4 can just get there. And the 4 got around him, but it wasn't dominating the way they wanted to. But what they did here in the second half is a lot of these type of looks. Put a guy over the center. Might have been Gaines. This one's a linebacker in Jones. But now the center can't bump out to the right and help 77 Adonijah, who's one-on-one with Aaron Donald. So that's to me one of the big adjustments Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator for the Rams, made in the second half. He found more ways to be a creative up front to free up their whole unit. And there you can see there. I mean, Aaron Donald, one-on-one, he just dominates him.
Oh, my God.
Right. To where there's no chance. Burrow wants to throw the ball quickly to Boyd here. He does not have him. The Rams, again, within the Bengals played one of these, this is what we do and we're going to do it. There was too many of these plays where it's like, look, they knew Boyd wanted to break inside. I mean, look, he was playing inside all the way. And so there was so many plays where I felt like they knew. And then when they got their fronts married up a little bit and figured out, okay, wait, this is what they're doing protection-wise, and they cracked the code there, it was the creativity of the fronts, like you see there, the smattering of five-man rush, which I was a little skeptical about before the game. I'll be first to tell you.
Yeah.
So they did that. And here, show this one more time, this part of it, Matt. And then they started stunting more. Like, look at the left side of the defensive line here. 91, I think it's 45 on the side. They're going to slant in. Jones, 50, is going to wrap around behind them, right? So they started doing more movement up front. And that really, to me, was a big part of their success in the second half. And that's, to me, where I also get into, again, not to go back to it, but if they had a lead and Odell was in the game, and then you get them into, oh, shit, we're behind and we got to throw. I mean, it could have got worse. That's where they got to be in a position of power where they didn't necessarily have to throw it as desperately as I thought they might have to at some points.
Right.
But it was that adjustment by Raheem Morris, I think. And there's a lot of different examples of how they did it, but that kind of sums it up as a whole.
One of the things you've opened my eyes to these last couple, 3 seasons we've been doing this is how a five-man rush normally doesn't work.
Right.
I was watching the game, went back and watched it over and over again. Their five-man rush was working a lot, whether they rushed the five or only brought four. I know you kind of started to go down that road a little bit, but I want to hear a little more about why the five was effective and about those creative fronts that you kind of mentioned.
Yeah, they get in the five-man front. You don't know wait, all five are coming. Oh, wait, four came, one dropped out. Or it's a four-man front, somebody blitzes and somebody else drops out, which we love all the time, right? It looks like a blitz, but it's really not, but it messed up your protection. There was a lot of that going on.
And oftentimes they need to show 6 or 7, like, oh, maybe 7 are coming. They weren't doing that.
No,
they
were not
showing 6.
No, they just showed really 5, and it was just it was 4 or 5, almost the whole game, but a variation of how they did it. Really. And in the first half, I think that's the thing I took away more. They kind of just went, hey, here's our 4, and just go upfield and get them. There wasn't even a ton of stunts or anything like that. I think when they realized, man, they're onto us and they found a way to double Donald in these ones. Second half, that's when they got into looks like that. Or if they did just the normal 4-down look, they were twisting and stunting, and the Bengals were having a hard time passing it off. Or, hey, the play Joe Burrow hurt his ankle on, they put Gaines over the center. Right, so now the center can't go anyway. They put the other guys really wide. So now 2 linemen had to go out on the 2 other guys on each side. It was a 5-man rush again. And now you got 2 guys on 2 on the right, 2 on 2 on the left, and they get to Joe Burrow there with Von Miller and everybody. So they created the one-on-one matchups they wanted. All right, they got to that. And I think also, too, with the 5-man rush, why they smattered with a little bit, like the 4th and 1 we saw. Burrow, it was – oh, wait, there's a lane. Boom, I'm just going to take off and go. The 5-man rush clogged the lane up. So where Joe a few times I think thought like, man, I'll just try to run up. And it was like, oh, shit, I can't get through there. I get sacked. Right.
Let's take a look at the final play.
Yeah.
Because it's more Aaron Donald.
Sure.
And it's more the Rams front getting it done.
Yeah. Aaron Donald getting the front, getting it done. I mean, first off, what Aaron Donald does, all right, and one other thing that, just a talking point here, where Joe Burrow is going to kick himself in the ass is really 2 plays before this. They had a 2nd and 1, and you might remember this. He threw the fade to the right sideline to Jamar Chase and threw it out of bounds.
He may as well have punted it. Chase was jogging. He was 20 yards behind the play. Joe threw it 10 yards out of bounds.
Right.
It was a waste of a play. Giveaway of a play in a major situation.
No doubt. It was a 2nd and 1, and it was really a very similar look to this defense, except down here at the bottom of the screen, it was Jamar Chase, but Jalen Ramsey was like 10 yards off.
Yeah.
And he was calling a go route. And Jamar Chase is like, I'm awesome, but I'm not going to be able to run by him and run a go route. I think he thought, like, there's no way he's going to come to me here. And Burrow really didn't even look, kind of just like looked down the middle of the field and just threw it like Chase was going to be there. But where Burrow, I think, is going to kick himself in the ass is he had an alignment like we're seeing here in this picture, and he had basically 3 slants on top on that 2nd and 1, and he had Boyd and had Higgins, and he would have got the first down and extended the drive.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he went to that, and that was a throwaway play.
Yeah.
You know, and then, of course, we had the great tackle on 3rd and 1 by Aaron Donald, which was, again, another play to go, holy shit, that was amazing. He just stopped the guy running full speed in his tracks and was like, no, you stop here. No first down for you. I mean, come on, that was freaky.
Yeah.
And now we got the play where, hey, Burrow's now going to look up to the left of the screen. He's going to look there, right? You know, and as they look there, you know, nothing's really there, as you can see. There's nothing there. He might have wanted to throw the ball to Higgins, but you can see everything's tight. And now he's going to reassess, but by the time he reassesses, it's too late. What's more amazing, if you could just go back a little bit, Matthew, is the fact that the center is helping the left guard here. The left guard needs to go, wait, I know my center can help me here. I need to get on the outside of Aaron Donald. But he still let Aaron Donald get outside of him and beat him around the corner. But as you'll see, the center is there to help him on any inside move. But Spain still gets beat by it. Why? Because this is one of the greatest defensive players in the history of football. I mean, to be able to turn the corner that sharply,
man,
off of a 3 technique and get the sack, or he didn't get the sack. Burrow, amazing, just getting the ball out of his hands. But that's just, it's amazing.
Almost completed it.
Almost completed it. And if he doesn't get there that quickly, Joe Burrow's going to scramble to his right a few steps, and Jalen Ramsey fell down, and Jamar Chase is going to catch the game-winning touchdown.
Right.
I mean, so that's where this game is crazy. It's so close. But Aaron Donald, to what we're showing here, should have been the MVP. Great game, nonetheless. A lot of respect for both teams.
Next topic is Bengals play calling, and I want to get to a question from one of our listeners here coming up. But, I mean, just bigger picture on that last drive. So watching the game, you're like, okay, Bengals got a long shot here, but they do have 2 timeouts left. They've got a kicker who's been awesome in the postseason. All of a sudden, they're at midfield. Little over a minute left. You're like, shit, they have 2 timeouts left. 2nd down and 1.
I'm thinking they're going to go try to score a touchdown and win the game. I was thinking.
And at the very least, 15 yards away, a couple timeouts later, kicking a very makeable field goal.
Definitely, especially with that guy, McPherson.
It's easy 3 days later, but I mean, at that point, when it's 2nd and 1, a little over a minute left, midfield, I can't believe they didn't throw the ball one time between the hashes. Not one time.
He missed the 2nd and 1 would have been the one I told you he would kick his
out
butt.
Of bounds, basically, that we talked about.
Yeah, that was the play he's going to be mad at himself and go, I had people over the middle and I should have thrown it right there.
The whole reason you're excited to save those timeouts and to have a couple at the end of the game, throw the ball in the middle of the field.
I know.
You don't have to worry about the clock.
Right.
You can do whatever you want and call a timeout or 2.
Right.
So, again, I know it's 3 days later. They had an awesome season, but I'm shocked that they didn't attempt anything with those timeouts and that kicker in the middle of the field.
Well, like I told you earlier, I was a little underwhelmed by the Bengals' game plan. I don't think they gave the Rams one. You going into the game, you know you're not going to be able to block these dudes.
Right.
You know it. I mean, if you don't know it, then that's shame on you. You should have. You shouldn't have just been like, wait. I just think the group that got their ass whooped in the previous 2 games is just they'll show up today against the best pass rush in football. So if that's your thinking, then you're wrong. Right. I don't know what to tell you. But, no quarterback movement, really. No screens.
That's the question. From Coog85, where was the Bengals screen game? Considering the Rams were last in the league in defending them, you would have thought they could have countered the pass rush by using them.
But if anybody listened to me the last 2 weeks, the pregame show, it was one of my big things. Screens need to be a part of the game. They should watch the 49ers and every screen that they threw against the Rams with Deebo Samuel the last 3 years. They should steal it and be in the game plan.
Yeah.
They never made them have to – they let the Rams play aggressive the whole game. Even with pre-snap, very little pre-snap motions or movement. No Jamar Chase reverse or speed sweep or toss or anything. Nothing?
Yeah.
2 weeks to prepare? We just go in with this is what we do, we're going to do it?
Yeah.
I was very disappointed. Lack of varying up protections, like I told you. I mean, there's only one play the whole game. They kept the tight end in the block. It was a 75-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
You'd like to go like, wait, that kind of worked. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
As for the screen game, I mean, one of the stats, I had to go look at another site. I'm like, this can't be right. Joe Mixon, 5 catches for 1 yard. It's amazing.
And none of them were screens.
No, I know.
They were all like check down or like, wait, nobody's open downfield from a play that we've run 100 times this year, and the Rams have seen it 100 times.
Right.
We're going to do it that way.
So more on that.
That bothers me.
What happened to Joe Mixon? This from at Rocky Top 42. Why do the Bengals get away from using Joe Mixon in the fourth quarter, especially on the questionable 3rd down and 1 run? You figure that Zach Taylor would want to get the ball in his best running back's hands.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Now, P. Ryan is he's their passing game back. You know, he is. You know, to the point of the screens, he's the guy that we just talked about, caught a long screen for a touchdown against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
You know, but yes, I hear you. In that situation, yes, I would want Joe Mixon to run the ball too. I have a hard time thinking that Aaron Donald was going to stop Joe Mixon right in his tracks right there, right?
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, though. I'm not going to sit there and overanalyze that. That's the guy they like to pass protect. They use him in the pass game. I'm not going to be overly mad about that one. I'm not.
Okay.
But I am going to be mad about the other stuff I talked about.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
Okay.
You know, I just don't get it. I know the worst screen defense in football.
And you did call
and you know
one,
you can't block them.
Yeah.
And just lack of movement, motions, things for them to think about never happened in the football game. And that to me is where they drop the ball a little bit.
And I'm gonna say to me on par with that. I already mentioned it, but the second down one middle of the field, what you came up with on those 3 play calls, I mean that's probably going to haunt them for a long time.
Definitely.
That thought process and what they did and didn't do.
Hey,
there.
you got that. You know, we talked about the 4th and 1 they missed early in the game.
Yeah.
The next drive, we didn't even talk about this. He's got the wheel route by Evans up the right sideline, and he overthrows
Missed
it.
him, yeah.
Right? You know, so there was a few opportunities the Bengals had, and Burrow wasn't quite on his game, and of course we know the O-line wasn't right on their game either.
And they have been so good at that. I think at Kansas City, I don't remember the exact number, but they were over half on converting third downs. Again, 4 out of 17 Super Bowl Sunday 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah.
Some other missed opportunities to get to with some missed throws.
I think we hit them all.
Okay,
I think I just brought up the lost one.
Okay.
The Evans overthrow would be the only one that I think we didn't really discuss.
Okay.
You know, it was a good defensive play by the Rams linebacker. He made Evans go inside.
Right.
So it was tough. I guarantee it was a look or something. Again, I think the Rams knew a little bit of what was coming, right? So they got outside of him, made him come inside to change the angle for Burrow. And, yeah, I guarantee they haven't practiced that a whole lot, where the running back gets pushed inside and then has to work his way back out.
Right.
He missed the throw, but I also want to go, it's Joe Burrow. I expect him to make the throw, too. That was just another opportunity that, popped up to me at least.
One more topic to get to, and you brought his name up, Jalen Ramsey. At Reimer2911, hey, Simms, love the pod. What grade would you give Ramsey for the whole game?
Probably a C.
Okay.
I mean, for his standard, again, most people in football, you wouldn't even ask to be put in the position that they put him in.
Right.
Hey, bump and run on the fucking most explosive guy in football.
Broke up the touchdown on the slant early in the game.
Broke it on Higgins, right?
Yeah.
Right. Did that. The Jamar Chase, the first long one down the right sideline, Chase gave a little out move. Honestly, listen, it was unbelievable. Jalen Ramsey was even there at the end of the play to trip Jamar Chase up. If we watched the playback, you'd go, holy shit, that was impressive that he went for the outside move, was in an awkward position, and turned on the burners and stayed with Chase to where at least he tripped him up as he was catching the ball. But, yeah, it was a tough day for him. Again, the Higgins play was offensive pass interference.
Yep.
You had the play on the last drive where he tried to jump the little hitch route out to the left side, and Chase caught it and turned it up the sideline, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was not his best day. In fact, he would probably tell you it's one of his more poorer games he's ever played in his life. There's no doubt.
Question about him. This is kind of going a little more big picture. This is from @PMG UK Colts. Is Ramsey now living purely off his reputation, too overconfident, as his performance in the Super Bowl was massively below par?
Yeah, again, like I said, there's only a handful of guys in football that you'd be even asked to do the duty that Jalen Ramsey did in that game. So you got to respect that. It was not his best game. But it wasn't like I was sitting there going, oh, man, he's just getting torched.
Yeah.
Again, the T. Higgins play, he was all over him. The guy grabbed his face and then grabbed his face with his left arm. And we showed even today on Pro Football Talk with Florio, his right arm has Jalen Ramsey's back of his jersey. He threw him to the ground.
Right.
I mean, he was there. Yeah. So, again, Jalen Ramsey looks like a fool, but I go, first off, pass interference needs to be on the offense, needs to be called way more than it is as a whole in the NFL. Yeah. So you have that. You have the other Jamar Chase plays. He messed up. There's no doubt. But this is what I'll say to that question. Jalen Ramsey is without a doubt one of the best defensive backs in all of football. Is he the best island man-to-man corner in football? I don't know if I would say that.
Who's better?
Man, Xavier Howard.
Yep.
Maybe J.C. Jackson.
Ravens. Who's the
Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander when healthy.
So
he's right up there. He's a short
list.
list. Where Jalen Ramsey is different is Jalen Ramsey could also be he's a nickel. He's a great he tackles like a safety. He can do everything. He can match up with a smaller Jamar Chase, who's much smaller than he is, and then match up with a huge T. Higgins, where a lot of those guys can't do both of those like that. That's where he's special. He's really awesome. No, he's not on his reputation. It was a bad day. It was that, but he's still really awesome to our man PMG UK Colt.
Matty, you got some breaking news there on Aaron Rodgers? Okay, here we go. Aaron Rodgers is a free agent.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. I said it on
it's over. Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley called it quits.
I knew they were a free agent. You totally tricked me.
Work with a celebrity with Aaron? No way.
What? No shit.
Seen that?
I knew this was not gonna.
1 year after announcing their engagement, neither of them was happy. A source exclusively tells In Touch.
Well, like,
wow.
First off, I had a feeling. I mean, he was sitting by himself at the NFL honors the other night. Yeah. So that's kind of like, what? You're in L.A. with an L.A. Hollywood actress, and she's not there with you?
Maybe she was, on site.
And really, we never heard anything about her a whole lot once he got busted for his vaccination status.
Oh, yeah.
I really feel like that might have been the end. I don't know. I just feel like he was probably stressed out because everybody was attacking him. She was, talking about all her holistic medicines in the world and all that. Maybe he blamed her. I don't know. Now, the big question is, will he become a real free agent in football, too?
Right.
Because if you make me bet, what I hear and things and people I know in the league, he will not be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers next year. I think that's why you heard the report this weekend of the Packers saying they're ready to go all in. Yeah. It's the PR battle here. They're going to make sure they're making it look like we're trying to get him back.
Yeah.
Because they know what I know, that there's people in football that are in the know or know people close to Rodgers that he's looking for somebody else. He's looking for a new girlfriend.
Where do you think? Clearly.
Both, two new girlfriends.
And neither side will be happy.
No, probably not.
What do you? So, like your first guess, if you think he's going to be elsewhere?
Denver.
Yeah,
I'll throw Denver right out just for the obvious reasons. Nate Hackett being there. I have a hard time thinking he gets traded in the NFC.
Yeah, Denver would be great. I mean, that defense is ready to go. They've been so boring on offense if they had the best guy out there.
The AFC West quarterbacks, holy shitballs. If Aaron Rodgers went to Denver, Mahomes, Herbert, Rodgers, and Derek Carr, holy crap.
I'm still on the side where if he comes back, I mean, I think he's – for as many things you can say about Aaron, I think he's incredibly intelligent. He knows he has Devontae Adams. He could help keep him there. And that dynamic with the play caller, just because you go to a place with a great defense doesn't mean you're going to have that. And I know that Hackett would be there, but he's got something special with LaFleur.
I know. I think it's the other things. I don't think it's LaFleur.
Could end up there.
I won't be shocked. Yeah. But I'm saying if you bet me money, I'm going to say if you made me bet money, I'm going to go, he's going to leave.
Yeah.
I think the love for LaFleur is real. I don't think it's, even though he said all the right things, I don't think he really loves Goody and Mark Murphy still.
Okay.
All right. There's that. The Packers have real cap issues.
They do.
Real cap issues. To where I think he looks at it and goes, wait, we're not going to get better. We might stay the same. And we might get worse, actually, because we might have to let go of some people that we shouldn't.
Was not a big margin of error for winning all those games.
So that's scary, I think, a little bit that way to him. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm leaning towards he won't be there, and then he'll be in the AFC. The Broncos certainly come to mind. The Miami Dolphins still come to mind, even though I know they're trying to sell Tua with Mike McDaniel there. I get it. But, there's no way they're trading him the 49ers.
No.
There's no way they're trading him the Bucks. Do you really think Matt LaFleur and Gutekunst and Mark Murphy want to, maybe be in the playoffs next year and have to go play Aaron Rodgers somewhere and he can be like, look, see what I can do with a team? F*** you, Green Bay. Do you think they really want to hear that? Do you think LaFleur really wants to watch, Shanahan and Rodgers go to a Super Bowl and have that hovering in his mind all year long? No. So AFC team, if not that, then maybe he'll be back.
That's all just a giant tease for a podcast later this spring.
Yes.
Because that's it.
We got lots of time. There's a show, that's a show.
There's a show, that's a show. We got lots of time.
That was a good breakdown. At least I felt good about it. I hope everybody else did. You know where we'll go? We're going to go 2 podcasts a week now.
The producer's like, I don't know.
He doesn't know. Yeah, the producer's an asshole. Yeah, I know. I've heard. Matt Casey's an asshole. But either way, we'll be back on 2 podcasts a week. Maybe Monday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday. We got to figure it out as we're going forward. I do have a week off next week.
You do?
All right. So
I'm gone as well.
Yeah, we're going to play some best of, some things like that. So, again, don't expect new information. I'm getting a little break.
Do you get to pick if it's Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday? Is that in your contract?
I think it's not. I don't get to pick.
Told?
It'll be a group discussion between all of us. You, me, Ahmed, Matt Casey, Pat. Pete, dim a little light us
to figure it out.
Yeah, but we'll figure that out. What 2 days we're going to do? What's the best plan of attack? And of course, we're getting into free agency. When I come back, we'll hit free agency and we'll start talking draft stuff. I'm hoping we're going to go to the Combine. We're going to see how that works out. It is still COVID out there, so there's things and protocols we got to figure out here. But either way, this ain't the last you hear from us. We'll release stuff next week, and we got a full season of football, off-season stuff to talk about. Hope everybody enjoyed the What the Happened Wednesday podcast on Super Bowl 56. Hope it answered all your questions. Paulie, you the man. Now go back to your Olympic work. Now.
One more.
Yeah.
Nordic Combined Team, Large Hill.
Nordic Combined Team, Large Hill.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. I'll be sleeping. And that, keep working hard, Paulie. Peace out, everybody. Have a good week. See ya.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.